box, all she has to do is tap, but it doesn't. The mouse, and it's usually over there, and we have to click so that this box becomes our functional box.
Our focus box.
Yeah.
All right, I understand. Okay.
So
By default, it just goes to the last item that you scanned, and then you have to go.
it goes back to this part that shows,
right,
the folder of everything scanned.
Everything that's scanned.
So technically, if you notice on the top, that box isn't highlighted, and this box is darker, because that's usually how we can tell. But if we start tabbing, it doesn't work in there. Like, see, this is, but we have to always go back at the beginning and re-click in that box for it to be our functional box.
Okay, so I'm getting ready to scan this document. So
I'm going to the left.
So she has to tell me this.
Right, which if we can.
So if it was, like say Dragon Voice, or it's called, there's like certain software programs where as you're moving over with your mouse, it can identify what you're moving over.
Yeah.
And so that would be able to be an audio, right? Since for Vicky here, that would be a challenge, right?
So
So
go down a little, and just a little bit more, and click.
okay.
So now she should be able to tab.
Yeah, but it didn't really say select.
Try your tab and see. Because you clicked in the box.
I'm not familiar with Dragon. I've heard of it, but I'm not sure how Dragon works. Because most of the visually impaired people just use, JAWS.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
But I mean, I'm not opposed to trying Dragon, because they do say different software works differently. So I am very open to trying something else.
Okay, sounds good. And I think again, like I'll take everything I learned here and try to figure out some solutions that might be more feasible, especially for this type of project that you're working on, because it seems like it's very dependent on the buttons, right?
Yes.
And then what's going to cue you to go ahead and do the next best thing.
And as long as she's cued, and she can, she's actually very, like I just sit here.
Right. So it's not so much the keyboard in as much as it is knowing what's on the screen and knowing how to work through those different steps.
Well, yeah, but see, I depend on the keyboard. So everything kind of has to be.
But you understand the keyboard, though. You don't need help with adaptions with the keyboard.
No.
Okay. So the adaptive technology then would just have to be reliant on, again, that playback or the audio, knowing how to go ahead and navigate those buttons and being able to go ahead and talk to the device, in this case the Xerox scanner.
Okay, so we're going to try to tap now, because it says, to me it said something slightly different. It usually says select, and it did not. So
so if it didn't, can you move your mouse off and then bring it back on, and we'll go ahead and
if we just try and click in the box again. But we just got to make sure, like, I don't click in the white box, because then it leads us into just working in there. So we're trying to go in the
Okay, so we're going to try to tab. Okay, so I ended up on scan. So technically that's my clue. So then from here I should be able to tab the 4 times, yeah?
Because you're in that first box, remember? So you want to go back, because you got to hit that scan. Because we're not in the Xerox yet.
Oh yeah, right. Okay, so I hit enter here.
Enter DFW searchable PDF. Scan in colon DFW.
Okay, so now I really had to listen.
Page 1 help button to activate press space bar. Alt plus H.
Okay, and the Xerox thing hasn't come up yet. There it goes.
Xerox logo make 5445 left parent 32 right parent right level angle bracket. Xerox logo make.
So like from now she can tab. She doesn't have to click in that box. She can just tab once it opens. See those buttons, it doesn't read it. Like it doesn't read that scan.
This should be like an express way to do that for her operating, even,
Well, in some cases they do have shortcuts.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even if shortcuts could be set up like S for scan, and then just hit it a second time, or, that way.
Because it's going through all of what to set up, and it's already set.
It's already
so
set.
we just need to scan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it shouldn't have to go back to its settings, and as
Yeah.
much as that, you just want to go ahead and scan,
Right.
finish, scan again,
Right,
finish,
exactly.
right? Unless
Yes.
you have different parameters, or if you want the resolution different. But if you don't, and it's the same thing over and over again, and you're scanning, you know, your final file is going to be a PDF versus a
Right.
JPEG. You know, that's different also. But if you're not touching the settings, then it should bypass all that.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and scan here.
Enter. Xerox Token Make 5445 scan settings. Xerox Token Make 5445 scan
And
settings.
see, that's what, you know, we're not sure about either. I just have to tab, because right now that's what works, because there's not really a shortcut set up yet.
Okay.
So that's why we tab it. Like I say, right now for us, that works. And it gives me a little bit of the independence.
Yeah,
Which,
yeah.
you know, I really kind of like.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Okay, and then on your scanner, is there also a mark that shows that it has been scanned? So for every document that comes through the feeder, on the piece of paper itself, is there a mark that's made, like a
It's just
stamp of any sort?
visually on the
Okay, so
computer
then-
they have
okay.
to go through, yeah.
Okay, all right,
So those folders in the back
Yep.
back there
okay,
is supposed to show the scan.
okay. And right now we have it set to scan as a PDF, or we have it scanned as set, okay, there's a DPI. Okay.
I think
Should be
it's,
PDFs,
I
right?
think it's PDF, yeah.
Mhm, okay.
Is Jennifer still not in here?
I'm
Well,
here.
she's in here.
I'm being the fly on the wall, observing. There's some interesting conversation that I'm hearing here, and I'm also observing how much faster you guys are scanning now. This is a huge difference from when Vicky first started.
Wow.
See how much I don't have to do too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Huge
we can just
But
get
a lot
those
of
one
interesting-
areas tweaked.
Yeah, a lot of interesting tweaks. Possible. I like the idea of if there was a mark made after scanning,
Mm-hmm.
that would be
I mean, if it was some kind of
huge.
sound or something.
Or
'cause-
a little nick, like a nick in the paper that you could feel,
Right.
right? Or a beep. But the
Yeah.
beep. But what I like is if there's a nick in the paper, then I can prove to the customer every single page has been scanned.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Or even
okay,
if
I
it
see what
does
you're
a paper count, it'll tell you 4 documents
Yeah.
scanned.
It will
Yeah.
say that
Oh,
at the end.
It does.
But we don't
it
have
does.
the paper,
But
so we
you're
don't know.
you want to count how many there
See,
are?
like,
I mean,
there's
look,
these
there's
folders
so
like
many.
this.
But
Okay,
when
so-
you get done scanning, it'll tell you how many pages have been scanned.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
But I mean, but like we don't know for sure that it's all the pages though in here, even
Right.
though it's telling us, because
Right.
like we don't count.
I would love
I
I would
don't
love
wanna
it
come
if
in
there
and
was a,
volunteer
like
to
a little
count
nick
this.
in the paper, and then Vicky could do the QC, and she could feel on the corner of the paper, aha, these have all been scanned, or oh, wait a minute, this one page has been
Yeah.
missed, or something
Yeah,
like
because
that.
sometimes it skips.
Yes,
It does.
yes,
It's not 100%,
Yes.
but it's
Right.
pretty good.
yeah,
Right, because I noticed also the paper that you're scanning,
Yes.
some of it's the carbonless.
yeah.
Yes,
paper.
So-
and that gives us a
and
little
that gives
problem
it-
sometimes.
Right, it does, right, because
Yeah.
it doesn't have the same weight, and sometimes some scanners don't have that sensitivity to go ahead and feed through the paper,
We
so.
get jams, and actually this scanner is so good. It crumpled one time in there, and it
still
scanned it
skipped.
crumpled. So
Yeah.
when it came out, the
Okay.
picture must have been crumpled.
Alright.
So
Okay.
So it scanned it.
yeah,
Scan it.
I said so.
It scanned it. It just showed a
can
code
read it.
scan, but
Mhm.
it
Okay.
scanned.
So from
Okay.
here, we got to
Okay, so then,
remember. So we need the done.
right,
So-
so you had to click, right?
Right.
Okay, so then I had to click,
Scanning colon DFW searchable PDF
And
dialog.
I'm supposed to
Xerox
be
Token
ending
Make
up on
5445
done,
scan
and I'm gonna
settings.
take it for granted that I did.
Yes.
Okay,
Because I have been, so,
okay.
Enter. Paper port. Scanning colon DFW searchable PDF dialog. Scanning page 7 ... Previous page
Thank
left
you.
parent key right parent button to activate
Okay.
space bar.
Okay, and you can also slow down the instructions given, like the audio instructions. You can actually slow down his voice. His
You can, but I wouldn't want it to be any
Do you
too
listen
much.
to him?
I do. He's my clue. I do listen to him.
Well, personally for me, I have a hearing impairment, and I do not understand
Yeah.
what that thing is
So-
saying.
But it's important, right?
The
So you
voice
have-
I mean, I
itself
can't
is
tell
odd.
you. I can't
Right,
tell
I'm
you
worried
word
about
for
that.
word what he said.
Yeah.
But it's enough that I know after repetitiveness, this is what I'm supposed to hear.
Okay.
Right.
And so
Right.
now I know that I can go on.
Right, right,
You know,
right, right.
to the
Especially
next-
if you've already heard him over and over again.
Right.
Then, okay, all right.
So now then, we're
So
done.
now
So
you're
now we have to
done.
go to done scanning. So here
Uh-huh.
I can tab again.
Add, rotate left, add, rotate, add, move the add, move the add, delete the add, scan the add,
Okay.
scan other add, done scan add, modify.
Oh, wait, wait.
Shift add, scan add, done scan.
Okay, so now I'm done scanning.
I see it read all of it.
Uh-huh.
PDF dialog.
All right.
Paper report dash scan dialog. 6 pages scan document 1 of 1. The button to activate.
And here she can just tap
And then
it.
I can tab again.
So it's nice, all of this part is independent, no clicking back in the
So how
box.
do you, so if you needed to retrieve a document, then all of it's under that one file folder? Or are you starting another folder again?
Yeah, we
We're
start, so
starting
we
another-
name, so right now we're saving
okay.
this whole folder as a
Right.
folder.
Okay, all right.
And then all these folders go into another folder.
Yeah, Sharon has it set up.
Oh.
Yeah, I passed it. Sharon, who is Jennifer's boss, yeah, Jennifer?
Yes, she's
She
my boss.
has the scan thing
Uh-huh.
all set up, so she has everything go into one folder.
Yeah.
And as we rename it, then it's kind of like under our name. So she knows who scanned what, and she can go back and review what
Okay.
was scanned. So she's kind of like the quality control person too.
Okay, all right. Okay.
So if I needed to retrieve a document, I think probably maybe she would retrieve it and bring it back to me and say, oh, you know, and that's where she might have to help me. Or maybe that's something else that could be installed somehow or buttoned.
Yeah, I asked this only because your retrievals should be the same as you have electronically as you do have it in hard print, right? So if the retrieval system for the filing